Sailing, to me, it's beautiful. There's no end to the subtlety of it.
Sailing is an incredibly peaceful sport at times, but it's not anymore.
This is a hydrofoil. In the age of speed, we need ships that go fast.
Boats at these speeds, it's no joke.
These ships of the future will have small crews, highly skilled in several areas.
The F50s are a pretty different animal.
Their platform must be versatile and easy to maneuver.
It's sailing, but it's turbocharged.
We are always evolving the technology, so the boats are always getting faster. Right now, the top speed is just under 100 kilometers per hour.
And our goal is to hit triple digits, so we obviously want to be the fastest team ever to sail an F50.
3, 2, 1, let it go.
So we've just finished season 4.
Vamos España! Spain claims season 4!
And going into kind of pre-season, season 5 right now. The league's taking a little bit of a break, but what we're doing here is we've got 3 days where we're testing some big upgrades happening to the boats over this off-season. Now, the big thing about SailGP is every boat is exactly the same.
So over the next 3 days, we're testing a few things before we implement them across the entire fleet. First of all, the new T-foils.
These foils are designed to not only give the boat a little more control, but yeah, they have a much higher top end speed.
And the other thing that we're doing is going to be slightly controversial in the sailing world. We're going to add a jet propulsion system.
Opening main contactor.
When you go to a light wind venue and the boat doesn't foil, the product isn't as exciting to watch.
Look at them, absolutely stuck.
And there's different tests going on with that, but this assistance to get the boat up on the foils is going to be a game changer for us in light winds, I think.
Yeah, correct. Never start, okay, that's fine. Then just set it at 0, and then we'll do the configuration.
I've been involved with the Canadian team for 2 seasons now. I'm not quite sure how we got roped into being the testing team. Part of the reason is I think our boat is the newest boat in the fleet. So when our boat was built, it was built with these T-foils in mind, which are a departure from the traditional L foils or J foils that we've had.
It's the proportion of the width to the depth, so this one actually needs to be a little deeper than this one. One of the big parts of the T-foil project is to come up with the design of a foil that is not only faster than what we had before, but easier to maintain and more precise.
The T-foils really unlocks more potential, and it also really changes how you sail the boat. San Francisco really gives us the ability to sail in strong winds and make sure that the design and the engineering performance really ticks all the boxes.
Guys, let's man the trolley.
What we're doing here is we're testing things that have never been used before. And it's our job to basically find things that the designers haven't thought of. You know, there's a chance something can break, and there's some nervousness about that.
Coming up here.
Generally, everyone's just kind of excited because, you know, there's this big speed limit on SailGP and it's 99.9. I mean, no one's gone 100.0. far as I know, it would make us the second fastest boat in the world ever.
And the fastest boat in the world right now is specifically designed to go in a straight line and break the speed record. This thing's designed to go around the track.
And if you stand back and you look at these boats and you look at the size of everything above the water and the size of the things that are in the water, these boats are really kind of a wonder in those terms.
You know, going to be at the edge of cavitation on most surfaces. Yeah. So there's no point in doing this because it'll just, you know,
That's what you can say that. 110. Wow. I reckon we're going to do...
I reckon we'll do 100 today and we'll do 105 tomorrow.
Now, the guys are really talking a good game today. They're saying we're going to get triple digits, over 100 Ks an hour.
Are we allowed to, like, whoop when we get over 100?
Yeah.
Or do we need to stay back concentration?
You don't. You don't.
We're just in the South Bay at the moment and pretty light winds in here, but I think when we get round to where the racecourse was, we'll be up there, but it'll depend on the sea state. My tip is 99.57.
Here we go. Speed run in 3, 2, 1, 1.
So the F50 is a hydrofoiling catamaran with a huge wing sail.
So hydrofoiling, the boat flies 1 meter to 1.5 meters above the water, so there is very little drag through the water.
The best way to describe what the F50 is to explain each of the people's roles. At the back of the boat, you've got the driver, same as a car, turns the thing left and right.
You steer the boat, but you're effectively the captain of the team as well.
Then you've got my job, the wing trimmer, and that is the guy that controls this. So he controls how the boat is heeling. And then you've got the flight controller.
I'm in charge of flying the boat out of the water. Keep the boat out of the water, keep the boat going fast, and don't screw it up.
And then you've got the strategist.
I'm the strategist on board Team Canada, and the strategist is kind of looking at the big picture, trying to navigate your way around the course in the shortest distance as possible.
And the grinders are the power. They produce all the energy that we then use to move all the other stuff.
So the one design approach really allows SailGP and the F50 to be focused on the athletes.
Try to keep it close here, guys. We'll take them on the next feed.
That said, the F50 doesn't stand still. It continues to develop.
Cat is -2 right now. We've got 3 degrees more to go out. Just built here. The cat's going out, Bill.
I mean, all right. Should we go for a roundup?
Copy that. Yeah, we're all good here, really.
A lot of the testing is quite structured, so we basically go through a lot of different phases during the day.
Here we go.
So we have a test plan that we go through together. I have a really good relationship with Phil. He provides brilliant feedback.
She is ramping quite a lot, isn't it?
And effectively, I'm the voice in his ear, going through the list of what we need to do. Okay, we'll come up with a plan to change the test somehow to make it more comfortable.
We're doing a number of things when we're testing these foils out here. The first thing we're doing is we're testing the structures of the foils. These things are highly loaded, highly stressed structures, so we need to learn if they're strong enough.
What we'd like you to do is to go into a nice gentle bear away and we'll see what the relieving load looks like.
Copy that.
Our hope for the top speed with the T-foil is to get to the physical limit of what hydrofoils can do. And that limit is right around 100 kilometers an hour.
Actually feels with the more different, like we're cavitating earlier, right?
Basically, as soon as you go over 90, the foils start to what's called cavitation. Now, cavitation is when the water is actually boiling.
This curve represents the pressure on the upper surface, and this one, the pressure on the lower surface. The resultant pressure distribution is such as to cause an increase in drag. Thus, hydrofoils lose efficiency when cavitating.
Essentially, the water vaporizes on the surface of the foil, and at that point, it's basically bubbles that make it shake and increase its drag.
The only way to really get rid of high-speed cavitation is to slow the boat down, and as athletes, that's not what we want to do.
That felt pretty good, eh? So much steadier. Yeah.
biggest difference with the boat is you've got so much grip. It means you're a lot more in control.
When you typically watch these boats sail with the L-foils, it's a bit of a rodeo.
Oh my word, big mistake on the tack there. That's a disaster.
It looks to me like the boats are more precise.
And it's faster.
The boat feels noticeably quicker upwind than our normal HSBs or our normal foils.
80 kilometers an hour instead of winds on that.
The 82 is very fast.
Yep.
That's the biggest difference. You can fly it on the edge a lot more and still have control, which is pretty cool.
So, plan of attack is to go do another speed run in a similar spot.
Copy that.
Yes.
Okay, 30 here, 90, 2. Oh, this is fast. This is super fast. Come on!
3, 2, 1. Gusting now.
No, gusting now.
Oh. Can't believe it's sitting that right.
It's sitting on 90. Just hit water. Oh, another water.
It slows down real quick.
Oh, we're sitting on 98, 99.
Yeah, that's insane.
Gus couldn't get over the edge quickly.
That's good. It needs a bit. We need more wind, don't we?
And smaller wing.
Smaller wing. More wind, smaller wing. In general, it's a very good session. All the software and the control systems on the boat checked out. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough wind today to break the 100K. We live in an environment dominated by nature, and if it's not windy enough, we just have to live with it. But we know that those conditions will come.
The boat looked rock solid on the foils and really good in the maneuvers and quick. So I think it was a good day. Got a feeling we're probably going to break 100K tomorrow, I suspect.
Tomorrow will be good. 25 knots tomorrow.
Little wing.
That'll be the real test.
Yeah. I've been involved with these boats since they were first conceived. When I look back and I think of the challenges that we've had and then overcome, it's not something you do in one step. It takes a lot of little steps before you get there.
Paul is an absolute legend. He's the best designer out there. When you traditionally think of a designer, you think of somebody sat behind a laptop. Paul is extremely hands-on, and he's obviously an extremely good sailor, so he's got a multifaceted approach to designing and making the F50 quicker and quicker.
My history with hydrofoiling is kind of interesting because when I first went to work as a naval architect, I got to work with a few of the guys that had worked on the old military hydrofoils.
This is a hydrofoil. She is the descendant of a concept more than 75 years old.
I used to feel a little bit sad, like I'd missed my time. And if you'd told me 20 years ago you're going to be in a sailing hydrofoil boat, I would have been a little doubtful. Evolution tends to build on what's been done in the past.
And the evolution of these boats has been pretty phenomenal over the last 10 years.
So the F50 was previously known as the AC50, which was in the America's Cup.
We created the AC50 for the America's Cup in Bermuda, and there were a lot of constraints on how the boats could be. After that cup was over and the decision was made to create the F50 circuit using those boats as a baseline.
Sailing on a new course, into a new age, a different league. This is SailGP.
When we were thinking about forming SailGP, we needed a boat that's very, very high performance in a wide range of conditions.
And there was a transition from the AC50 to the F50. We've had various kind of phases in the project, really. Season 1 was just getting something that worked in a really tight time frame.
Welcome to SailGP.
It is on.
The problem with the boats in Bermuda in 2017 is they were very, very power hungry. So we needed 4 grinders going full speed the whole time, just so we could sail in a straight line and do the occasional maneuver. Now we've replaced 2 of the grinders on these boats for battery packs. Now that then means that we can throw these boats around and pretty much do anything we want because we're not limited to power.
Look at that, they stayed on the foils, executed the maneuver well.
But probably one of the bigger things is the arrow wing, you know, which is kind of our engine. In the old boats, that was a mechanical thing. The present wing, it's basically robotic. It's all controlled with electronics and hydraulic power, and you can do anything with that wing that you want it to do.
So the first sort of season, it was loose and out of control.
Australia, Japan trying to get up underneath the line, very, very close there.
As technology's come on board the boat a bit more, we've been able to control the thing a lot easier.
And then the next 2 seasons are really kind of focusing on the performance and reliability so that every boat will be on the start line and finish those races.
Oh, they're all on the money, but out of the middle of the line, it's Canada.
How would I explain the F50? It's an incredible piece of equipment.
So with the F50, there's a lot that you see from the outside, but there's way more that is visible once you look under the hood.
If you ask a sailor or an athlete or what it is, they'll look at it as a boat. I look at it as an IoT device. It's an Internet of Things.
Each boat is sending data in from the water, and it's received, it's sent to database centers in London, analyzed, processed, sent back here in less than the blink of an eye for a human.
Everything comes off to the F50, it goes into the Oracle Cloud. By the end of the day, we'll logged around 48 billion data requests. We can go back through the data and find these anomalies and work out if something's going to break in the next hour, and therefore replace it.
And now we're back in the stage where we're looking to speed things up again.
What's really cool about SailGP is they're not afraid to step away from traditions, and sailing's a very traditional sport, but that doesn't get you anywhere down the line. So what they're actually doing is putting a propulsion system into these boats now.
So when there's no wind, there's nothing more painful than seeing the boats kind of stuck in the water and not flying.
Just so little wind in behind those big wing sails there.
So we're working on a jet drive at the moment, which will give the boats enough boost to get on the foils. And that testing is happening separate from the foil tests. And once that's unlocked, we can really bring out some more impressive racing.
Looks like it's locked. And 2,000. Okay. 2,500.
Too bad it doesn't shoot flames, huh?
I mean, about 6 months ago, we got approached by SailGP looking at how to do some type of electric assist or electric drive train. We've never done something this small or this low power, but it's about 30 kilowatts and do a couple 100 kilograms of thrust. I mean, for its size, it's one of the more powerful motors in the world. We spun up to closer to 3,000 before, and I mean, it's gonna be pretty loud.
Yeah, yeah. The jet engine will be designed in a way where there'll only be a finite time the motor can be used.
It's like the driver assistance in Formula One. If the sailors don't utilise that correctly, there'll be a time delay before when they can use the system again. So they'll have to get it right. But it's going to dramatically improve the racing in light winds.
Yes, it's way out of line in terms of the rules of sailing currently, but look, this is a sport that needs to be at the cutting edge, and this is a cool little development.
It is a slightly different mindset doing this type of training. There's not the nervousness we would have from racing. But yesterday, a lot of the boys had their phones in their pockets just, you know, to take a picture of the speedo when it went over 100. We didn't get it yesterday. Hopefully we'll get it today.
I think it's exciting. We're pushing the boundaries of what we can do with the boats. You know, when you grow up as a kid and you look at what you want to do for a living and then your dream job, for me, that was doing exactly what I'm doing now. You're ripping around close to 100 kilometers an hour. The boats are loud. They shake around. It's just this amazing feeling.
Yeah, there's not much in the world that can beat that feeling when you are on the edge of control. You're kind of going into the unknown a little bit.
Sailing, to me, is so elemental. Just balancing these two things, the part of the boat in the water and the part of the boat in the air, and turning that into speed.
Wicket numbers up when at least 65 target, if not more. Looks windier up high, doesn't it? Up by that yacht. Yeah, you can tack over and then we set up for it. Go for it. A little bit further, yeah. Alright, ready for speed run?
Here we go.
Max getting there, bounce coming down now. There we go. And we'll take a little more rudder off now. Oh, wow. Again.
Yes.
Wow.
Smashed it. Nice. Hey Phil, that was 101.98.
Do we get it? Do we get it? 101. That's 98. Yeah. I can confirm the water was quite hard at that.
You need to get Billy's 105.
102 was stressful enough. I'm good with that. Put the boat out and then we'll go again. Ready?
Yeah, triple digits on the speedo. I have to admit, I actually didn't see it. I was in the moment. It was way out of control. So Annie on the back saw it and she thought it was pretty cool. So it did go to triple digits.
The boys were so concentrated and kind of at the task at hand that they didn't actually know that we broke it until I said over the comms, like, we did it! Because I was checking out the speedo the whole time. You know, it's not every day that you break a record like that, so yeah, it feels amazing.
We hit about 101.9 or 102 kilometers an hour, so that's 55 knots. We're smoking. And very, very cool feeling, to be honest, to be able to break that barrier and push the speed record a little bit higher.
It was incredible. I have to admit, I didn't actually know where to look. I was stuck between the video and squiggly lines and jumping between the two, and yeah, it was a fantastic moment.
There's very, very few people in the world that have ever been over 100 kilometers an hour. So, you know, for us to beat that is pretty significant and good feather in our cap to be the first people to do it in SailGP.
Pretty exciting. It's a big step to get these boats past the 100 kph mark and to be an all-purpose boat, but to also be able to hit those kind of speed numbers is something. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought we could have done that. And nobody got hurt.
This is the ethos of SailGP. Momentum. We move forward very quickly. Once we see something that we like, we test it and we push it forward.
At heart, we're all racing people, and you know, we love seeing things get quicker and quicker. I think if we stood still, you know, we'd be overtaken, and we just need to keep pushing the limits.
What's the future of SailGP? It's going to be fast, that is for sure.
Who knows where the performance of these boats will be in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, but There's no doubt that it's an exciting league to be part of because it's always evolving and constantly seeking what that next big advancement's going to be.